record. There we go.
What's up, guys? It's July and I'm wearing a Santa hat. No, it's not because I'm celebrating Christmas at a weird time. It's because I'm ranting about Halo, or at least the state of MCC as it is today, especially on PC. Now, when the MCC came out for the Xbox originally, it took them, 4 years to patch all the issues that could have been done and dusted with literally the first week of Halo MCC's launch. But yet they're still releasing a PC version, of PC port of MCC, which the community was ecstatic for. And the first thing they do is one of their biggest mistakes, at least originally, was to launch it with only Halo Reach. And furthermore, no Forge, no Theater, none of these features were implemented at the start, which July, almost a year after MCC's launch, and it still is incomplete. People paid $40 expecting to at least see the Halo games come out gradually on PC, but at least in their complete state. I myself never really saw the audio issues that people were talking about at the start, but audio issues, ports not being properly made for a game that was released back in 2012 or 2010 is kind of ridiculous. I don't want to just be hating on this game because I actually do love it. I just think that it's so weirdly released, but it just makes no sense as to, if you're promising people a game, and I think that's more of a problem with the gaming industry in general nowadays. It's all right to release a product that's, for all intents and purposes, still in its alpha stage. You promise us Halo Reach. We get Halo Reach at the start of PC MCC. Great. I love it. But where is Forge? Where is Theater Mode? Where are all these crucial components that really make Reach? Not to mention the inconsistencies between... We did a video on this before, so don't worry about it. About bullet magnetism and the advantages of using a controller. I do have to say, to address all these comments from the last video, I do have to say that I do feel like once you get good with a mouse, it doesn't really matter as much. But I can still notice when a person is using controller. It's very hard to 5-hit, especially using the battle rifle. It's issues like these that just don't make any sense to me. Half-baked releases, bugs galore, discrepancies between mouse and controller, features that people have been asking for since day one, like crossplay, something that should have been integrated from the start. And the dwindling player numbers are kind of a result from this extremely poor management of Halo MCC on PC. It's just flabbergasting. But all of this is coming from a person that has been playing Halo since the OG Halo 2. I did and lived through the release of Halo 3. I played Halo Reach day one. I played ODST day one. I played Halo 4 day one, getting myself a bloody limited edition collector's box. And when 343 took over, it really feels like Halo has been going downhill. And what are we on now? This is July 2020, and we have player numbers in the 6,000. 6,000 players online? You can't find a game competitive. The player counts are not really shown anywhere. You have to rely on Steam's player numbers, in order to get an accurate estimation. Good luck finding a ranked game. I mean, God. And this is coming from an experienced Halo player that absolutely loves the franchise. I mean, I wouldn't be ranting this much, being so passionate about something, if it didn't matter to me. But this is just a guy that has been playing Halo talking. Obviously, I have rose-tinted goggles, and I am biased through and through. But next to me on this live stream, we have Shady, who never had played Halo before. Did you own an Xbox?
No.
Yeah, so you didn't... Exactly. You were the PC guy, the PlayStation guy. You played on PC as well. that was kind of your realm of things. And when we saw that Halo MCC was coming out for PC, I was like, Shady, you gotta play the franchise that I've been absolutely in love with. Finally, it's coming to PC. Finally, it's being accessible to someone that plays on PC. Finally, I need to show one of my best friends, my streaming partner, Halo. What was your first experience of the game? Like, this is coming from a beginner's perspective. What did you think of Halo?
Initially, it was really fun. It was very different from everything else. I'm a MOBA player. I play League of Legends mostly, and coming into Halo, it was a better experience than other shooter games I've tried, like Call of Duty, etc., etc. But that's preference. One thing that really caught my attention fast was how it seemed like certain players who played against had a huge advantage. And obviously that led to the previous video we had on bullet magnetism and aim assist. Mostly we ended up kind of debunking ourselves on that video. Ended up being more of an aim assist issue than bullet magnetism. So that's just something we gotta point out, that yeah, there was some inconsistencies there. But the aim assist is really strong, and with some help from a good friend, we also established that the aim assist is ridiculous. Going further into like the Halo 2 games, one very clear issue I see is the maps are dark. I cannot see anything. So as you guys can see on the screen right now, I'm just dying and dying and dying, and my brightness is not that low either. I just literally can't see anything.
What did you what did you think of like the aim assist situation? Because I mean, we did make a video on it, and obviously we've been playing more as time has progressed, but it really detracted me knowing that just because someone is using a different method of input, all of a sudden I'm at a huge disadvantage. Not only because controller players have been playing Halo for a while, and I mean, I did own a controller, but playing on PC, I kind of wanted to play it the way it was meant to be played on PC, and I just wasn't happy.
So I kind of want to be fair to the controller players as well, and the only way I can be fair to them is essentially saying that if this was cross-platform, it could be that could be justifiable, but it is not cross-platform. They're not having any of the disadvantages that we have as PC players. They have perfect resolutions, they have great field of view, everything is customizable as they're playing on a computer screen. What do? They just plug in a controller and they get the benefits of a controller. And yeah, I mean, it's a little bit harder to play with the controller, I suppose. But then again, people playing on a controller on mouse and keyboard Halo, they're already used to the controller, they know what they're doing, and they're good at it. So for two people at the same skill level, if we're talking rank-wise or level-wise, somebody who has a controller has a huge advantage. That was established so quickly. It was so easy to see as well. And from the reactions on our video as well, a lot of people feel this way. And it was essentially us being the rank we are, playing same level people and just getting completely obliterated. And it was not even talk of skill at that point. It was in a straight up fight, they would just hit every shot, and you would have one on your team who could do the same, and then everybody else was just running around missing every now and then, as you should be doing on mouse and keyboard unless you're really good. So I think it's a little bit unfriendly to the people who are actually playing the game the way it's supposed to be played. And I think that the best thing they could do is just do it cross-platform. So if you're actually on a controller, you are playing from your Xbox. That's probably better to
And see, the worst part is that almost a year ago, when they said, you know, we're planning on releasing MCC, we're releasing Halo Reach first. We're doing season by season, and with every single release of a new Halo game, we get a new season with new unlocks. What happened to that? Halo 1 released, still season 1. Halo 2 released, it's still season 1. Where all these seasons that they mentioned are gonna be part of the game? Not to mention, a lot of people don't play Halo for the matchmaking. They play Halo for the content creation. Where's Forge? Where is it? Where's file share? Yeah, they released theater mode, but at least to my knowledge, I don't know how to record a video in theater mode. That button seems to be missing. That's because they don't have a proper file share system. All these features that make Halo either have to be modded in, or you have to use some third-party software to get it going. It seems very pointless to have a theater mode when there is nothing to record with. What's the point of theater mode? Just to see how you died? What about the content creators like me and Shady? We could have made a lot of fun parody videos and things like that. Obviously, we can. We can just jump into theater mode, use our OBS built-in recording, but why do we need to do that when there is a fully functional theater mode built into the original code of the game? All you gotta do is release file share as it is. It just makes no sense. And Halo CE comes out. Halo 2 comes out. Still no sign of Forge on the original Reach. A lot of people were talking about the dwindling player numbers as being a sign of just poor management of the game, and whilst I agree to that, I do believe it's the laziness, it's the time it takes, and a lot of people want to defend that by saying, well, they are putting all their efforts into Halo Infinite. Okay, great, but this is a product that I paid $40 for on I pre-ordered MCC. Both of us did. We paid $40 and we were promised all the Halo games. And whilst I can give them some slack on the fact that they did originally mention that these games will take a bit of time to release, a year in, and not only do we not have all the games yet, they're not even finished. We have audio bugs still prevalent. We have, I believe when Halo 2 originally came out, I downloaded it. I had to get a Windows update in order to fix Unreal Engine crashes. Because as soon as I would start a game on Halo 2 Anniversary, my game would crash because I didn't have the latest version of Windows 10, which seems very bizarre to me because this game was developed on an older Windows version to begin with. So why do I need the latest Windows version that came out quite recently to be able to run it? It just seems so weird, and the easy anti-cheat engine. What I'm trying to really boil all of this ranting into is the fact that I really love Halo. I have a friend here, Shady, who has never played this game before, never played this franchise, and I really wanted him to enjoy it to the fullest extent because this franchise has so much power, it has so much draw. It is not your everyday first-person shooter, but the state that it was released in kind of feels like it's an afterthought, kind of feels like it's the appetizer to Halo Infinite, which a lot of people don't even have high hopes for, simply because why would you? Halo 343 Industries has been doing nothing that has people going, wow, I'm really excited. People are afraid that the games that 343 releases will be released in a state which is, for all intents and purposes, playable. The player population is, simply put, a consequence to the poor management of MCC on PC. A game that could have been phenomenal, could have had crossplay, but didn't. Could have had Forge so that the community could be creative, create fantastic maps, but no, it has to be modded in and played with a controller for it to work properly. Features that are core to the game, to the franchise, and they're not present a year in, whilst we're still waiting for Halo 3. It's baffling to me. I don't know what to say. And I gotta admit, I'm really bad at Halo 2 Anniversary. Something I can get better, and hopefully we can play a SWAT game on Reach next, but...
That would be good.
Is there anything that you want to add? Like, do you even know what Forge is? Have you seen videos on it?
No, this is mostly new to me. But I'm kind of looking at this from my own experiences with the other games that I play, like League of Legends. If they were to make a release, if we say that like League of Legends died and they made a new release and every feature that was essential to the game or the feel of the game, how it used to be before, is removed, I would kind of be ranting like you are right now about the same things. So I can kind of see where you're coming from. But no, I'm not. I mean, that's the reason you're doing most of the talk here. You're much more familiar with this.
But honestly, guys, the Halo games are great. And honestly, it's not even 343's fault. They are just a gaming company that operate in 2020, where it's okay to release games with draconian microtransactions for you to be able to fully enjoy these games. It's okay in today's gaming industry to release half-baked games that are still, for all intents and purposes, 10 years ago, if they were released in the state, you betrayed me. Why? Why did you betray me?
Oh, wait.
That was me.
Oops.
Games today are released in an unfinished state. For all intents and purposes, if games were released in the state that are released in 10 years ago, they would be in alpha, maybe beta stage. Games shouldn't be released in a state at which they are today, because what I call them is incomplete. They're not games to me. These are technical builds that a year into the release cycle of these of Halo MCC, and for all intents and purposes all games, these are not complete services. They're not complete products, and that's what frustrates me. Valorant, for example, it shouldn't have these issues with their anti-cheat system. Issues where it could genuinely brick people's computers. I'm sure Shady has much more to say on that, because this is a discussion that kind of goes beyond Halo, which in a way is kind of sad. I kind of hope that only 343 would be responsible for all of this, but it's the gaming industry in general. You can't trust games on day one. You can't trust the fact that you're gonna buy a game which feels complete through and through. Can you give me some examples? Like, do you have some experiences with this, Shady? Because I know you know a lot about Valorant, and I kind of want to steer this discussion there, because I believe, like, in terms of Halo, I have pretty much said everything that needs to be said. 343, just get your act together. Like, I get it, you're working on Halo Infinite, but you did choose, after all, to work on 2 projects simultaneously. So, work on them. Don't have one as an afterthought where there's been bugs since day one, where their games are crashing on launch, where the easy anti-cheat doesn't properly close down as a task. Every time I quit MCC, easy anti-cheat is still running in the background. If I want to relaunch MCC, it gives me easy anti-cheat errors because it says that easy anti-cheat is still running. I have to go to the task manager and close it every time I want to restart MCC. And I'm sure that not everybody's experiencing these issues, but the fact that there are issues prevalent to even some people should not be accepted today. And it's such a huge shame, because I love this franchise so much. I can't properly focus, damn it. But what do you think about Valorant or the gaming industry? Because you've been experiencing the lack of care from developers in your own ways, haven't you?
Absolutely, in many ways. Valorant is a very special case because the game in itself is said to be really good. Obviously subjective. However, what Valorant kind of messed it up with is their anti-cheat. And for people who respect their privacy or their computer safety, they would not download a direct backdoor into your system. That's more like morals than gaming related. There has been some reports on Valorant not being complete as well, but overwhelmingly amounts of people are enjoying the game. So, or overwhelming amounts of people are enjoying it. So I haven't tried it myself because because of the backdoor anti-cheat they have. So I can't really speak for that, but
But I mean, you've heard stories about how Blizzard is literally one of the like it's going down the pathway of EA, in the sense that after they partnered with Activision, Blizzard is just not listening to the community. They're releasing titles which are just nobody asked for. Like, what the hell was Diablo Immortal? I don't even know where to begin with all of this. You must have heard some of the stories.
This is we're steering into literally how society is right now. We're having these companies who are essentially giving people what they don't ask for, and when we tell them we did not ask for this, they're like, "Well, you guys owe us something." We don't. We really don't. Well, I mean, when you don't play their games, they start bitching on Twitter, stuff like that. It's really infuriating. EA, obviously, the best example of them all, who pick up games, ruin them, or buy up a company and ruin them. This has been going on for years, and but when it comes to like the state of the games, there was a game that was so terrible upon release. The Scrolls Online, one of the worst launches ever.
Yeah.
It was a complete utter mess, and it lost like 90% of its player base right there because of that. And then they spent 6 years fixing. Oh, why did I scope? They spent like 6 years fixing it, and now it's at a okay state, or better state, good state, I'd even say. You have games like what's it called? The Lotro that we play a lot on stream, which is still like 11 years later a mess. Like,
by the way, just a shameless plug in here. If you guys want to check us out on Twitch, we do stream here occasionally.
Yeah, that's the dying Fiesta y'all are seeing on screen right now. You also have the cases where the game is brilliant, but it's obviously trying to send a message, which is not what gamers are asking for. Like Naughty Dog's The Last of Us 2, which is by far one of the best games ever, probably, but most people are really turned off and don't want to play it because of their politics. They're trying to force upon the gamer, and we don't like that. So there's a lot of issues.
Well, like especially like all this drama with Blizzard banning some of their bigger streamers because they have a different political opinion concerning Hong Kong than the company due to their stakeholders and stuff like that. It's just so draconian. It's so medieval that gaming is not about having fun anymore. It's not about producing games that people want to play. It's how can we release a product which is viable enough not to get too many refund requests, but still releasable so that we can make money quicker, and then promising our player base that sometime in the future, we don't really know when, we're going to be working on this game for the next 2 years. No promises though, but we'll try. It's that. The fact that games are not products but services nowadays, that really frustrates a lot of the community, and honestly, that's not going to go anywhere. That's kind of how gaming has become, and it looks like it's going to stay that way for quite some time. Because why would it change? This is so much easier to develop. A game as a service that's always going to be improved upon, but never will reach the state that a game where back in the day where you couldn't just release an online patch that's deliverable via air, you wouldn't be able to fly that. And games and companies are getting sued for microtransactions that are essentially gambling. It's lame. And harkening back to MCC, it's a collection of games that were re-released as services, promises, that still haven't been fulfilled to this day. It's not 3 for 3. It's the gaming industry in general. And like I mentioned, I wouldn't be so passionate wearing the Santa hat, looking all good for you guys, if it wasn't for the fact that I love this franchise so much. I really do hope Halo Infinite is going to be the breakthrough rescue for the Halo franchise. As I believe that Diablo 4, when it finally is launched, it's going to be a Blizzard saving grace. But you know what? I don't have my hopes up, and neither should you. Don't pre-order games. Wait until they're released so that you can see what the product looks like from launch. Follow your favorite YouTubers, like Kids Again. Follow your favorite YouTubers. Follow your favorite media channels that are unbiased and aren't paid for. And choose where you want to spend your money, because your money is a vote. And if we all work together and pay for products or services, as games are today, that actually look, feel, and play good, then developers will be more encouraged to make products and services that actually perform as they should.